about it. Ah, crap. It's not going on my stream. You're live. Oh, wait, hold. No. A premium account on X Twitter is required to create live broadcasts on their platform. Please upgrade to a premium. So right now, you're just going to go to Facebook and YouTube.
Okay.
Is that good?
That's fine.
All right. God. Okay.
You got like a raw nose feeling?
Just the allergies. Search changes. Okay. You're live.
SHEnanigans. Does her whole phase matter? Welcome back to the Gentleman Code, where swag is for boys and class is for men. I'm your host, Mr. J, and on behalf of my producer here, Jerome Sperlin, we want to welcome you to our new studio setup. Now, first off, I want to give a shout out to all of my G-men, all of my man in motion. You're getting your things done and you're exercising discipline, right? Right? Okay, just checking. Because one of the things that I've noticed as I've gotten older, and maybe these things, these lessons will be brought onto you also as you get older. You know, it's not the amount of sex that you have that makes you a man. It's actually the amount of sex that you turn down. It helps you grow. Now, the 12-year-old inside of you is like, man, what are you doing? Why you gonna turn that down, man? Why you giving that up? But you know, for the betterment of your own future, sometimes you have to bypass, sidestep some of these beautiful, sweet smelling distractions. And so you're a man in motion. So you keep moving. Wait, let me double check. Let me make sure we are.
Yep.
You see it? Oh, you saw it? Okay, cool. All right. So we're live on Facebook. You know, I want to welcome those of you on Facebook that have joined the page over the past, I don't know, 4 or 5 days. There's been a huge influx of followers on that page. So welcome. Thank you so much for joining. And I hope that we're able to present to you some information that's beneficial to you as you continue to progress in your life. I don't necessarily speak from a position of perfection. Not at all. I actually speak from a position of imperfection and flaws, and realizing that I have my own flaws, my own insecurities, triggers, all those things, and still being able to manifest and make things happen in my life. And so with those lessons I've learned, the educator in me, because I'm a natural born educator, we all have our lots in life of things that we need to do. These are our assignments that our soul has been given. And it's something that you're drawn to. Just a quick sidebar for the men in motion. That thing that you're drawn to, that thing that people say that you are naturally gifted at doing, that's your gift. Now, you have a responsibility with this gift that you've been given. Now your responsibility is to hone that gift. First, identify it. First, identify the gift. Then you start to hone that gift. You nurture the gift. It's a small seed that you're now planting in the soil. And so you're taking care of it. You're making sure it gets water. You're making sure it gets proper sunlight. And just like a seed, it's going to take a while for you to see any fruits of that labor. It's going to take a minute. Don't get discouraged. If this is something that you're driven to do, you might have to do it after work. You might have to do it on the weekends. You might have to just make time to hone this gift. It's going to take a little while. But just understand that that seed is under the soil. The soil is doing what it does, what is photosynthesis and all that. I paid attention that day in class. Photosynthesis and what are the other? I don't know what the other stuff is. I'm not even going to pretend like I know. I play a doctor sometimes, but I don't know what I'm talking about most of the time. So that seed is under the soil, and the soil is taking the hull off of that seed and pulling it. And then eventually, like this is the top of the soil here. Eventually, you'll get a little sprout out, a little something will show. And that would be, say you're wanting to get in better shape. That would be, you start to see a little ab show up. You're like, oh, I got an ab. Whoa, look at that. Now you just need 5 more and you got you a 6-pack. You start seeing a little something on the bicep. You're like, oh, the gun show's coming up. Oh, it's on the way. Oh boy, they you can't wait till summer, right? Say you're trying to eat better. When you start to see that weight start to come off, or those pair of pants that used to, you know what I'm talking about. You did it. But finally, the pants, they close up and they fit right. That's the little seed showing a little bit of progress. It's that little bit. That's God giving you that little blessing, right? Giving you a little bit of something to show you that you're on the right path. Keep going, right? You're a man in motion. You keep moving, keep moving. Slow motion is better than no motion at all. If you're taking 1 step a day, by the end of the year, you've taken 350 steps toward where you're going. It's just 1 step. That's it. It may seem small and all minuscule, and people might even laugh at you while you're trying to progress. They might tease you, laugh at you. Oh, look at him. Look at him, man. Look at he trying to be all something. He trying to be this. He trying to be that. He trying to start a plumbing business, y'all. Look at this. Check this dude out, y'all. He trying to start a plumbing business. He think he all smart. But wait 5 years. You've been working, honing your skills, getting your certifications, building clientele. And now, boom, you're on the cover of Plumber's Digest. I don't even know if that's a magazine or not, but it should be. Do people still buy magazines? I see them at the grocery store. I've never been to the grocery store in a couple years, so it's been a while. I'm getting off track. But anyway, so just make sure you hone that skill. It's that thing that you're told that you're really good at. I was told that I was good at speaking to people, speaking in front of people. Was it something I necessarily wanted to do? Was it something I was really, truly comfortable doing? No, no, not at all. What you're looking at is a really reserved person that saw something that everyone else saw. And I'm like, okay, well, let me give that to them. And I give it to them. And then now you see me somewhere. And it was just one of those instances where, just imagine this. I'll take you into a moment of me being on set, because there is a lot of uncertainty on set. I don't, for someone like me, because when I'm brought in, I'm usually brought in, I won't say usually, but oftentimes, the last few projects I've been a part of, I was the last person hired. So everybody else had a relationship except me. I was brought in last, so I wasn't involved in table reads. I'm not involved in rehearsals. I'm barely involved in the fitting. Fitting is where you've got to try on the clothes. So I'm barely involved in any of that process. But I'm brought in the day of, and I'm the hero. And for commercial, a hero is the lead. So it's like, you're on the spot. Here, you do this, you do that, you do this. So if you can imagine, I'll walk into set. You're the first, it's the first day of school. No. It's mid-semester. I'll say it's mid-semester. And you're the new kid at school. You don't know where the bathrooms are. You don't know where the lockers, you don't know where the gymnasium is. You don't know where your home, you know nothing. Everybody else is getting to their stuff. They're doing their thing. And then finally somebody comes and says, hey, okay, we need you to stand here and say this. And you stand there and you say the things that you're supposed to say. They're like, no, that was great. That was amazing. Here's some money. Now get on out of here. We'll call you in a couple of weeks when we need you. You leave the studio, you're like, what did I do? Okay, now I remember I showed up. They told me to stand here. They said, say the thing. I said it. And now I'm back in my car 3 hours later going home. So I don't say that to brag. I say that to say, I never thought I'd be in positions like this where those types of things are happening. But I'll tell you, it's not by accident. So I had to do the little meager projects that didn't pay much or didn't pay at all just to get my foot in the door so I can prove to the people that make the decisions I can do it, and also prove it to myself that I can do it. And you build that confidence with demonstrated ability. You keep demonstrating that you can do it, not for them. Okay. All these things that I'm going to talk about, you may think that, oh, well, it's about them and we're making a commentary about them. No, you're just seeing what's happening and you're making those determinations on how to improve yourself. I'll do another quick sidebar because young gentlemen ask me what they can do to start a business. What type of businesses are out there? What type of thing can I do? And short answer, see a need, fill a need. That's the short answer. The longer answer would be, because I'm spending more time caring for my elder parents, I see pockets of ways that people can make money by caring for this large generation of people that are in their 70s and 80s. And if you can be someone who can be a service to them, then you can benefit, and that can benefit you. You can get paid for that. Start a lawn business. You can go around cutting their lawns. Think about what people need done in their homes, but they don't want to do. They don't want to clean. They don't want to cook. They don't want to cut the grass. They don't want to clean out the garage. They don't want to clean out the attic. They don't want to shampoo their floors or their furniture. They don't want to do that. So if you present something where you say, hey, I can do this, I can offer this service, I can come over and do this for you, you can build a business around that. $300 starts an LLC. There's no excuse, because what's happening in the world right now, as far as our economy, and I'm no economist, I worked in financial services, but I was really doing it because I was good at presentation. I wasn't necessarily good at all the stuff they were talking about. I just knew how to explain it. So that's why they put me up front. Again, confidence born from demonstrated ability. Everybody wanted me to talk for them. And so it's just a building process. It's just a building. I got sidetracked with that thought process. But that's all right, because I see these things. I work in the service field. Don't let the jackets fool you. I also have the ability to get my nails done. Actually, I'm going to be working on something at someone's house tomorrow. And so I go to these homes and I see these needs all over the place. And I think to myself, if I had the time, I would develop something to help fill this need for them, because they already trust me to come on their property and work and do this service for them. So they would trust me to refer them to someone else that's going to do a good job as well. So it's just a matter of seeing those needs, filling a need. So, and I wanted to talk about that first before I got to dunking on the hoes, because I know, fellas, you just want me to what about them hoes, Mr. J? When we gonna talk about them hoes? Okay, well, just relax. Just relax, because the reason I'm bringing this topic up and the reason I talk about discipline is because it's cuffing season. It's time. It's time. They trying to get you locked up. She won't let you out. She won't let you out. She got you locked up. She trying to get you locked up because it's time for Halloween parties. It's time for Thanksgiving. Black Friday is included in Thanksgiving. Don't think you're gonna get away from that. And Cyber Monday. Then you have Christmas. You got to go see the folks. You got to put on the Santa hat. Don't forget, you got to dress up for Halloween too. Oh, you didn't know? We got 2 parties you got to go to. So you got to go to that. You got to go to that. What say? Halloween party, Thanksgiving, Black Friday, Cyber Monday. Don't skip that. Then you got Christmas. Then you have New Year's. You got to kiss somebody on New Year's. All right. Good times. Then the new year starts, and now you have to buy another gift, and you got to go all out for Valentine's Day. You know what I'm saying? You just gonna get a dinner and some chocolate? Boy, please. Dog, please. She'll break up with you February 15th. She'll be over her next dude's house getting railed. Okay, I triggered you. I triggered you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't want to take you there. I know it's delicate. It's the scab is still new. The wound is still new. I picked up the scab. My bad. But Hoe Phases. SHEnanigans. Have you had one? Have you had a Hoe Phase? You. Yeah, you. Well, nah, me, Mr. J. I'm a stand up, whatever. Most guys would have had a Hoe Phase if they could. If they were honest, they would have had their Hoe Phase already. Or they'd be in it right now. You low down, dirty scallywag. You know damn well. Hang on a second. Yeah, you know. Oh, okay. Hey. You know that if you could, you would have. Right? Isn't that what everybody says in the comment section? When you see a pretty lady in a post, what are you saying in the comment section? Would. Okay, so let's cut it out and stop acting like you wouldn't have been down and dirty. And this is another thing, because I was talking to my son about this yesterday. We get real indignant when it comes to these professional athletes and these entertainers when they fall on rough spots as it. Okay, let me just say it. They got finessed by a hoe. You know, when they get finessed like that, then we're like, oh man, how he should have known better. Oh, if I would have had that money, then I would have. When actually, would you? I mean, think about people like these professional athletes where they have millions of dollars thrown in their lap at the age of 19, 20. Where was your mind at 19, 20 years old? And let's think with that same mindset that you had, 19 and 20 years old. Let's give you $633,000 a week, and you know it's coming every week. Not $600, $633,000. Now let's see how you act. Now let's see how much of a moral human being you are at 18 and 19 years old. So just be careful being too judgmental of these young men and young women when they trick off all the money. Because what would you have done? You wouldn't have invested in Nike. No, you wouldn't have. You wouldn't have invested in Apple. Stop it. just cut it out. You would have blown it. You would have bought 5 houses, 17 cars. You would have been, I mean, think about what Mike Tyson was doing. He was buying girls BMWs. I mean, come on, man. It's so I say that because you got to be careful. These guys are going through their whole phase. They got the money, so they can get them, right? They're at the finish line. So the ladies want to join them at the finish line and be a part of it. So don't be a hater either. He's enjoying his life. He's enjoying the dream. If you were in that position, you'd be enjoying it also. So that's one thing I like to say to myself all the time is never envy what another man has, because you don't know what he did to get that. You don't know what type of sacrifices he had to make in life to make that happen. You're just looking at the end result, and that's what you want. Go get your own. Go work for yours and see what God has for you. So we are talking about the whole phase because in the midst of being a man in motion and in the midst of climbing the ladder, whatever that ladder is for you, making your way up in the organization that you work with or developing a business and developing clientele, the company you keep is very important because they can make or break what you do. Excuse me. It is the company you keep, right? One lady I had in my life that taught me so much. I'm so thankful to her for teaching me some things. I don't know what happened right there. She didn't teach me how to talk, but what she taught me, and I call her Miss Direct. There are lots of misses in my life, and the reason I give them these names is to protect their. I don't want them to, concern themselves with being named, but so they can't sue me. Got to CYOA, you know what I'm saying? You got to be careful out here. People always looking for a bag. Hey, that's another thing. And maybe we'll get to that a little bit later. But some of these hoes we knows, when they're done, they want to try to get on somebody's bag, or they'll turn back and say, hey, this guy took it when I didn't want him to. So we got to be careful because you never know who you're going to become. It gets greater later. Trust me. I know you may think in your 20s and 30s that time is running out, but I'm just going, let me be urgent with you. Take care of yourself, drink your water, get your rest, build yourself up, mind, muscle, and money, and you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Rome and I were just talking about how there's a point where the pendulum swings all the way back. It's not a partial swing where it's just a little check swing and then no, it swings all the way over here. And all of a sudden you're thinking to yourself, this is a totally different reality. The ladies that were ignoring me are now begging me for attention. Now we're going to get to why, right? Because they're half off now. They were full price before, now they're half off and on clearance. But doesn't mean she's a bad woman. Doesn't mean she's not a good buy. I couldn't even keep a straight face with that. Okay, I'm just saying, I'm sure she's a fine young lady. But I think it's discouraging to men to see her use up the good years getting used up. Then she wants to be. I'm gonna do this for you, ladies. Ladies, I'm gonna give you a tip. All right, just a tip. Here it is. you need to find a way to stop telling men you've had all your fun and now you're ready to settle down. I'm going to tell you, fellas, holla if you hear me. Have you heard this? Have you read it online? Are you sick of it? I mean, just let me know. Because I'm out here in LA, it's kind of dating gone wrong on steroids. So I don't know if you're in Nebraska or if you're somewhere in, like Akron. I don't know. It might be different for you. Maybe you're in Tupelo and things are a little bit different. But I know out here in LA, it's a minefield, this dating thing. So, um, where was I going? What was I just saying? Rome, where was I going with that, man?
You were telling ladies stop telling.
Ah, yes. Ah, yes. Excellent. No, okay. So I just felt like that was an evil boss. I should have like a little cat right here that I'm scratching. Ah, yes. Excellent. No, but what they should do, you just got to find another way because that statement is so tone deaf. Let me show you how tone deaf that statement is. Let's flip it. Let's flip the script. Let's go to the other side of the aisle and let me show you how this, because we don't equate these things the same. We're not the same, ladies and gentlemen. We're not the same. We're the yin, she's the yang. We can't be the same. So if a guy were to say to you, you know, I've spent all the money, I've flown on all the expensive planes and private planes and all the yacht. I've owned a yacht. In fact, I owned a yacht. And you know what? I'm just tired of all that. I'm just ready to settle down in a nice studio apartment and live the rest of my life. How does that sound to you? Does that sound like it started up here? Oh, it was great. All money and trips and all that. And then by the end of that, it tailed off into damn near nothing. And that's what it sounds like to us. Because what you're saying, what it sounds like is I've had all the sex, all the good sex and bad sex and mediocre sex. I've had all the sex that I want to have. Now I don't want to have any more sex anymore. I want to get with you and I want to rest the box. No more sex. That sounds like a good deal, doesn't it? No. Short answer, no. Long answer, no. Doesn't sound like a good idea. So I would just say find another way to express this stuff. I can't give you any tips on it because I'm not a woman, nor do I want to be one. I really enjoy being a man. Positives and negatives come what may, whatever the thing is, this is what I am. So I can advise the men to say less. That's what I would tell you. If you're going to be on dating websites, if you're going to do this stuff, say less. It's show, not tell. You want her to discover things about you, not you just open up the book and tell her everything. Nice guys do that. And you're not that nice. No, you are. Well, you're anti-hoe. I'm not anti-hoe. I'm actually pro-hoe. I'm with the hoes. Be a hoe. Do your thing. Be a hoe, ladies. Be a hoe, fellas. Do your thing. But just understand that when you pick a certain lane to go in, it's not so easy to change lanes. It's not just like you put your signal on and you're going to change lanes. No, there's a double line. There's a barrier. There's a median. You can't get over there without doing some damage. You see what I'm saying? So you have to understand when you choose certain paths, there's damage caused, because we were discussing earlier about how men that are genuine, men that really want to care for a lady. And I'll tell you this, ladies, Men really want to care for you. I know it's not just me that just wants to have someone that you're cool with and that you're vibing with and you can laugh and joke and I don't know, maybe whatever your fun things are. I'm more of a goofball. So I like the karaoke, I like to do recreation, I like to putt golf and bowl and stuff like that. But things like that aren't necessarily um exciting to these ladies out here these days because they've been on a yacht on a Tuesday afternoon. She's ridden in a Ferrari on the PCH. I mean, you just can't compete with that monetarily. Now, connection wise, you might be able to do a little bit more, but there's a risk. There is a risk because if she is someone that is dead set on being a hoe, there's nothing you can do. And I bring this up because there's a friend of mine. I haven't spoken with her for years, but she taught me a lot. She taught me a lot about how ladies are really viewing this dating market. And I call her Misdirect. So Misdirect is someone that I saw, it's someone that when you see her, you think traditional values. She's a wife, she's a mother, she just has that aesthetic. And the longer I hung out with her, the more I realized she was wanting to be anything but that. She was a misdirect. She looks this way. She looks like a zig, but she's actually zagging. And I didn't judge her for that. I was just really, it was just like, wow, this is really interesting that someone like you would want this. And it really made me take note that, see, I used to think, and maybe two things can be true, but my belief was that there is a little girl inside that woman that just needs to be, she just needs a hand reached out to her. And see, that was developing me being a Captain Save 'em because you're always reaching down, you're always extending an olive branch, say, hey, I know you're down, come on up. And what was happening is instead of me pulling them up, they're pulling me down. And I excused it because I cared. But you have to care about yourself enough to let go. It's tough. It's tough for someone like me because I really I don't like to see people suffer. The educator in me wants to give them the information that they need to help them grow, but sometimes people aren't ready for the message. I've been there too. I've been in situations where I was unwilling to hear the lesson. So, but Misdirect was somebody that she was doing her thing in the streets. She was doing her thing. Every time I spoke with her, she had a different dude. And because I wasn't judgy and we would just kind of joke back and forth about it, she would just tell me all kind of stuff. Some stuff you don't want to know, though, you know. Have you ever had that, fellas? You ever had that situation where you had a misdirect, where she was really direct about what she'd been doing in the bedroom, and you're like, oh man, I wish you hadn't told me that. And I've had other instances where ladies have told me things, and I'm like, wow, gosh. I would tell you the worst one. I cannot look at that lady the same. And she told me long, long ago. Long ago. Wow. It's not misdirect. This is another lady. Whew. I haven't given her a Mrs. name yet. But man, I'm not going to tell you, because if I tell you, she'll know that I told you. She'll know because it is specific and heinous. I'll just leave it at that. But how many of you have had a misdirect in your life? And the reason I'm talking about misdirect is because I'm going to be talking about Kristen Bell and Ayesha Curry and the type of discussion that they brought upon the relationship dynamics world. Because gentlemen are already concerned about putting their heart on the line and then having everything dashed. But when you see men that are higher tier, lots of clout, lots of money, lots of resources, large network, big houses, anything that a woman would say if she was given a list, or if she was giving a list, this is what she would say she desires, or how she would desire her man to present and provide. And yet these men are still getting finessed. Well, maybe not finesse. I don't know what the word is. Doesn't seem right. It doesn't seem right to have the person that you lay next to, that you share a bed with, talking negatively about you to strangers. I think that's what it boils down to. You know, it could be something as small as her peer group that she's telling all this business to. That's detrimental. That's not helping you. You see, the two of you, and if you decide to join with someone, you're a team now. And you can't function the same way as a team as you did when you were a free agent. These are different worlds that you're in. And it's the same type of nonsense that I hear people say when they become parents. They like, oh, I didn't. And Ayesha Curry said that too. She said she didn't want to become a parent. We got to be careful how we use our tongue. It is the most powerful muscle in our body. It can direct so many things. It can direct our ships, our relationships. It's directing the ship. And if you have someone that they fly off at the mouth all the time, well, then your ship is going to crash. It's going to crash on rocks. It's going to hit an iceberg. It's going to hit something. The waters are murky. The waters are rough. Your ship is just doomed. But the thing is, would you recognize a good relationship if it came your way? And I'm asking everybody this one. Would you? And this is the thing, if it wasn't wrapped exactly how you wanted it to be wrapped, would you be able to take it? If she had everything, fellas, if she had everything, but she was fat, what you gonna do? Well, Mr. J, if she's fat, she wouldn't have everything. 80-20, 80-20 rule. You're only gonna get 80% of those desires. So what 20% are you willing to give up? Do without. And that's something only you can answer. But have you had the whole phase? Did you answer that? You don't have to tell me. Yes, you do. Tell it down in the comments. Have you had a whole phase? Because gentlemen that have had a whole phase, and I'm just going to tell you this before you start attacking my mom. Man, why you say that, man? Your mama black. My mama told me to have a whole phase. She didn't say go out. She didn't say, hey, son, go out and be a hoe. No, she didn't say that. What my mother said was, do not focus on having a girlfriend right now. Just date ladies. Stay in your books. Get it out of your system, all the dating, so that when you're ready to get married, you'll be done with all that. That was her message to me. But see, I was Mr. Lover Boy. Mr. Lover Man. Shubba. That was me. I was just trying to be a lover. And I was romancing all these chicks and writing them poetry. And, my voice turned into this. I was 15, 16 years old. So imagine, I got this. This is the secret weapon. I was using this as a secret before. I was writing poetry. I was leaving voice messages. In the 90s, you could leave a voice message, man. That would be a soundtrack for her. She would play it back. They used to have me as a ringtone. I was killing the game. Killing it. I hadn't had no money, but I was killing the game. I was young. But you learn a lot in those situations, I lost my train of thought again. Where was I going?
Your mama told you to go through a Hoe Phase.
Yeah, she told me. Mama knows, Mama knows about this. This is the thing. This is why she told me. Right? And I'm learning this now more as an adult because I'm having more adult type conversations with my parents. And you start to give your parents a little bit more grace when you cross thresholds of age and you realize, wow, my parents were this age when I was doing this, and my parents were this. You start to give them grace because you're like, wow, they didn't know either. They were just trying to figure it out just like we were. But one thing my mom knew is that there is a treacherous nature to some women out here. And she just didn't want her son to fall prey to that. But because she can't protect each and every interaction with a woman, then she has to shield you with knowledge, send you out there to go get your own lessons so that you can then have the discernment. My man had that word earlier today. You have that discernment to really understand that there's something better that you have to this world. And then if you just take care of it, then you'll be better off. But going out here, sleeping with a bunch of women, I wouldn't say that it's necessarily something that you need to do as a rite of passage for a man. Just understand that when you do get into a relationship and you begin to have sex, she's going to want you to be experienced. So let's think about how that even makes sense, in that they don't want you to fool around with a bunch of women, but they want you to have experience, and the only way you get experience is when you mess around with women. So that's what we're talking about, the Hoe Phase. And we're going to talk about, does body count matter also? Because there's a lot of discussions online about body count. I'm older, so body count's not necessarily a huge issue. But if she's in the thousands, you got to be like, damn, girl, what you been doing? Because I think more than being something that I guess people think it's a shame tactic, it's actually more of an indicator of the type of decisions that you make in life. It's the equation for a man who doesn't have his finances in order. He has a bad credit score. He doesn't have his finances in order. He's always broke, getting his stuff turned off, doesn't have his tags up to date. That's an indicator that something's missing. He didn't learn something along the way. This is the same for us. It's the same type of equivalency, because for ladies, that's your currency. That's what's going to get you in the door. I know you want to be seen as an intelligent human being, but sometimes you got to get in the door with what you got and then use the inner abilities that you have to shine through. Like I used to say, the voice, they want to hear the voice, or they like the way I dress, and that was the way in the door. Then once you're in there, now I can show this company all these other things that I can do, all these other gifts that I have that you thought might have been hidden, but they were right there. I just needed to have the opportunity to show it. So we're going to go to yeah. So what I want to do next, oops, I shouldn't have got off of that. Oh yeah, shout out to the Clark gents out here. My Clark gents. Listen, my Clark gents are the gentlemen that you might work a blue collar job. You get it done. You sweat when you work. You have grit and grime under your fingernails and everything when you're done working. But then you can wash that off and you can clean up real nice. When you're doing your manual labor job, you're almost invisible. And I have those moments where I'm invisible in my work clothes, and I actually enjoy it because I know that when I put that suit on, I'm going to shine. And for me, I'm shining even brighter because I've done manly work also, so I can do both things. So what we're going to do now, Rome, is I'm going to have you load up that. There is a video called the Hoe Phase explanation. Hoe Phase explanation. And while he looks that up, let's talk a little bit about discipline, because hoes ain't hoes by themselves.
Video 4 phase explained.
Yes.
Should I do it now?
Yeah, go for it.
Wait, it's a video?
Yeah, it's a video. Is it gonna play it? We got a vid. Let's check it out. Oh, okay. So it's reading. That's what it was. I gotta read it. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, so they're breaking it down. They're breaking it down. So age 24 to 25, she's still playing around. She's doing her thing. I call that, I have 3 stages for women. 3 stages that you have. You have the Gilded Age. The Gilded Age is that age where everything's popping, everything's great. She's got an unlimited dance card. Everything's all good. That's gilded. It's the Gilded Age. I know there's a show called The Gilded Age. I haven't watched that.
Should I run it back?
Yeah, you can pause it at a certain
It
point.
just ended.
Oh, okay. Yeah, just scroll it to the top and pause it. Okay. Yeah, so that's the Gilded Age. Why they got it? Oh, let's go to the 20s. I don't care about the teens. We'll go to the 20s. We'll start you off at a good safe age. So in her 20s, that's when things are great. She's rejecting serious men because they're boring. Huh, nice guys, where you at? Holla if you hear me. Have you been rejected because you were too nice? Because you weren't exciting enough? Let's see if I could probably pull this up on mine. So you're not exciting enough. You're boring. You know, how many of you have been broken up with because you were boring? And let me just say, that is a very short-sighted reason to break up with somebody. But if excitement is what you're out there for, and this person does not bring the excitement, I guess you bail. That's one of those, after those 3 plays don't work, she punts. So Gilded Age is in her 20s. Let's keep going a little bit. Now we have her late 20s. Let's see, we have age 26 to 27. Reality really starts setting in. The bad boys move on to younger options. Yeah, Arizona State, they graduated some seniors. I say Arizona State, but Ole Miss, go for it. HBCU, go to Jackson State. Get you a couple of Brittany Renners. But that's okay. So, and then 28 to 29, that's when the panic mode starts kicking in. She realizes her value in the dating market has tainted. She starts looking for God-fearing men. These are the ones they still post in thirst traps, but you can see her cleavage. You know, she's posting these lyrics from songs that sound real, you know, existential, and that she's been doing some deep thinking. But ooh, here's her ass. You see what I'm saying? Come on now. She's kind of still stuck in her gilded age because that worked. That used to work. Now it doesn't necessarily work anymore. And she's starting to panic. There's a reason the store is called Forever 21 and not Forever 31, not Forever 41, not Forever 51, because the 20s are the gilded age. It doesn't mean that she's not good looking still. It just means that the options and the plays and everything that she can do in her 20s, they're just not going to work that much anymore. That reverse play that used to work all the time, no, the defense done snuffed that out. No, she can't run that play anymore. She can't run it. So she's trying to go to different games to run the play. But gentlemen these days are becoming more discerning. They're becoming more discerning with their team, their time, energy, and money. So what they're spending their time, their energy, and their money on, they're not putting it on her. They're not putting it in this game. He's not playing the game anymore, and he's preserving his team, his franchise. If you had a franchise, bless you, bro. You good? It's all good. It's all good. We're doing live. But yeah, I mean, so those are the plays. When her plays don't work, she goes to another game. When the game dries up, now what? Right? When the thing is, when her game starts to dry up, your game is just starting because you took care of your time, energy, and money. I saw that one coming. Taking care of your time, energy, and money. And that's what you're supposed to do. This is involving your health. Go see the doctor. Talk to the physician. I'm going to tell you this. In regard to my doctor, real sidebar here, put me on full screen. We'll come back to that in a second. We're getting some training here on how to do this show. My man is producing the show. He's doing a great job too. But I worry the hell out of my doctors. You know, my physicians, I go in and they're like, man, if you don't get the hell out of here. I'm like, yeah, but doc, you know, 3 Tuesdays ago when I did this, I felt a little pull. What does that mean? What does it mean, doc? Am I dying? Am I going to die? They'd be like, Mr. Nichols. The funny thing is about physicians, they're caring when it's time to care. But when they need that room for another patient, you need to get the hell out. You are taking up time. They could be making more money here. And I'm just asking them, I'm like, yeah, doc, what about this? I felt a little something. And they like, sir, it's probably gas or something. You know, I'm like, man, nah. Because my thing is, I don't just want to be one of those people that's just walking around, just drop dead out of something that could have been prevented. What do they say? An ounce of prevention is worth more than a pound of cure. So you get that ounce of prevention up front Find out what it is. I'm waiting for this technology. They might already have it. We did it in a movie, but movies aren't real. They're not real. But I played a doctor where they did a full body scan of the person, and they can tell you what's wrong with them with a full body scan. And we did that movie, wow, 7 years ago. And even then, I wanted the technology. I want a scan. Tell me what's wrong. So if there's ways to fix this, I can fix it. It's kind of like if you're a coach of your team, your time, energy, and money. You got to make adjustments throughout the game when you see things aren't going right. Well, we set these plays up because we thought we'd be successful doing these plays, but they're not working. So we got to throw this out, and now we have to do something different. We have to course correct. And, the physician, what I appreciate is it don't matter who you are. When they take the x-ray, when they do the MRI, that's what it is. So you either do something about this to fix it, or sir, your days are numbered. All our days are numbered, but it's just why you could improve your quality of life so much better. No man knows the day nor the hour, but don't you just want to enjoy the time you've been given? And that's what it's about. It's just taking care of yourself. Okay, let's get back to these hoes. All right, now let's go back to the video. Go back to what are we in the 30s now? See, the 30s, that's when I call it the and we're back. Yeah, the 40s, not 40s, 30s is when I call the age of reason. That's when she starts to reason with the dating market. She's trying to convince you when they say 40, 40 is the new 30. When they say, this is the new sexy and all this, when they try to shape or reshape the dating market to fit where they are in the market instead of actually just being a part of it. So her 30s. Oh, yeah. You know this. Yeah, pause it right there. Age 30 to 32. You know it. You know it. They in church. They all up in church. Oh, praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Boy, she's modest again. She's a new lady. The problem is, though, this is the problem. I'm gonna tell you what the problem. I'm gonna get to it. I'm gonna get there. The problem is this. What happened?
It's okay. Go ahead.
What's your mom out there? We got a bogey. We got a bogey in the live. We're doing it live, fellas. We're doing it live. Don't even worry about it. Don't worry about what's going on out there. See, you need to focus. That's the thing. You focus. Focus. Focus in. What is this? Huh? Oh, okay. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm getting stuff. I have to do some work tomorrow and they're sending me what yeah, I don't know. I'll get to that when we're done here. But the 30s, in her 30s, dirty 30s. What? Yeah, okay. Getting all kind of stuff. All right. So the 30s is when she gets into church. And I don't know if you've been to church lately. Guys aren't really going unless he's married or the pastor. So it's just a lot of ladies in the church. And that used to be where you go find a mate. That's actually where I found my ex-wife. and she was on the front row. Front row. Black Barbie. Pulled that Black Barbie right out of that congregation. And we went and got married. Didn't last, but you learn a lot through these situations. And what I did see in the church were just a lot of women that were, at the time, I didn't understand it. But now I understand it as there have been some wrong moves made. And Black people, we don't go to therapy. We go to church. So we're hoping God fixes it. Jesus fixes it. Whomever you pray to, you're hoping that that's what the answer is. And, I'm no mathematician, but I don't think that's the full equation. I think the equation is you also. What are you doing? Because faith without works is dead. So if you're just going to do this prayer and you're not going to change your activity, then your circumstances are going to change. You can pray as much as you want. I'll put it like this. I'll take it out of the church. You can exercise as much as you want, but if you eat chocolate cake as soon as you leave the gym, you're not going to see those results the way you thought you were going to. It has to be, I call it the 3-prong method. We used to teach that in finance, when I used to teach finance, a 3-prong stool. You have to have all 3 prongs, because if one is kicked out, you fall over. And I took it to mean mind, body, and spirit. You got to work on all these things together, because if you don't, you're just a 2-legged stool. So her 30s, she goes back to church. Yep, she's quoting Bible verses, hoping to mask her history with a halo. You see a halo, halo, halo. Yeah, that's what it is. What is the retirement home for women who spent their prime chasing bad decisions? I haven't read this since I got this. I haven't even looked at it. It's just, sometimes I'll look at it, I'm like, oh, that's good. And then I'll just capture it and save it somewhere. And I'll talk about it later. But yeah, this is what they do. They want you to, I call it, let me go large screen. I call it the pretty woman syndrome. That's what I call it. This is a warning flag goes up for me when the lady says that Pretty Woman is her favorite movie. And this is why. Let's look at the story Pretty Woman first of all, okay? Vivian was a hua. That's what it is. She was a prostitute. And she was living her life, doing the damn thing. She was kind of reluctantly doing it, but she was doing it. But hey, a drug addict is still a drug addict, whether they reluctantly took the drug or not. You're still an addict. So maybe I shouldn't have used that example, because now y'all want to anyway. But she was a streetwalker. She got picked up by a rich man who scooped her up for a weekend. That weekend turned into a lifetime. End of story. End of fairy tale. Isn't that nice? Just like Disney wrote it up. Except, but let me tell you something, because I've done a little bit of research on this Pretty Woman. That was not the original script. See, the original script ended when he dropped her off back at the corner at the end of that weekend. Roll credits. Then he drives off in the Lotus. She walks back to her apartment with Kit. Roll the credits. Not so fun that way, is it? Because really what the script was called was, I don't remember the dollar amount that she asked for. Was it 3,000?
I can't remember.
It was something in the thousands, a couple thousand. She really downgraded her rate. Let me just sidestep that, by the way. Because if you have to pay, say, $100 an hour, and she got, say, $3,000, that's not enough. That's not enough. But hey, I'm not in that type of business. businessman. Keep it professional. Remain professional. So, but that's how the story originally ended. But Disney didn't want to release it that way. They're like, that's not a good story. That's not a fairy tale ending. So they had to add the ending on where he came with the limo. And, like a knight in shining armor, they had to bring that part back. And that's how the story ends. So ladies want that in their life. You're not Julia Roberts. That's a needle in a haystack. That's a shot in the dark. That is a movie. Now I do see rich men scoop women up and change their life. I've also seen blue collar men get with a wife, get with their high school sweetheart, have kids, and enjoy their life. I think our confusion, gentlemen, is that who are the good ones? See, it'd be nice if we could just have some type of indicator. Oh, she's a whore. She's a situationship type. She's a wife. But they don't walk around with those labels on. So we do it. How many categories would you say that you place women in? Rome, how many would you say?
A handful. Maybe.
So about 5?
Yeah.
About 5 categories. I'd go with that.
Maybe 3 or 4 or something.
Because you have the one night stand. She's the kind of, here, gone. You don't care about those. You can't. Because if she gave it to you in one night, then who else did she give it up to in one night, Not judging, just saying this is a pattern of behavior. So if she's the one off, she's the one night stand, that's one category for me. What's the next level up for you? That
after one night stand?
Yeah.
Unstable.
Unstable? So the unstable, do you still date the unstable?
Trifling unstable.
So the
hot mess.
Trifling, unstable, hot mess. Yeah. Fellas, holla if you hear me. Have you seen some of these walking around? Now, be honest.
That's where the majority of them go.
That's where the majority of them go. They look so good too. Isn't it crazy, man? They look so great. Their makeup is great, Some of them don't have overdone lashes. I saw a lady with some beautiful lashes the other day. I knew they weren't real, but still, they were still understated. Even though they were overstated, they were understated. So
that could be a career woman.
That's the career woman?
That could be.
Okay.
You could have some career
She woman. Has the aesthetic of the career woman.
Yeah. No, she is a career woman. Like she's okay. Or she's working.
Right.
But she's a hot mess and trifling.
Yeah.
Just doesn't make sense.
She leaves her good paying job just to start some mess.
She got a place, got a car, got a job. Like she's staying.
She's got it looking right. She's got it looking right.
But she's a hot mess.
Damn it.
And she's trifling.
She's trifling.
And she doesn't have sense.
Wait.
She wouldn't know up or down. I guess I don't know.
And see, those are the type of ladies. See the trifling. What we say, trifling. What were the 3? Ooh. Trifling, hot mess, unstable. Man, those are the women I'm attracted to. Maybe I'm a trifling hot mess. Maybe that's what it is. Huh? Like attracts like. But don't they say opposites attract too? But anyway, so yeah, those are the women that I really gravitate to. Because number one, they're very beautiful. They're usually successful. and highly intelligent.
Yeah.
Just something's missing.
Something's missing.
Something's
There's a
missing.
screw loose somewhere.
And I used to be the guy that I would think that I can help. I can bridge that gap. Oh, she just has a little bit missing. I can help her with that. I can aid her with that. Dun, da, 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 I'm the captain, so I was gonna come and help her put on my cape. And they would just all lead me to the abyss.
Not the abyss.
The abyss, just so far down in the ocean that it just starts suffocating you. So, and to rise all the way back up, you get the bends. So to come out of those situations, you have to come out of them slowly. I mean, I know I'm using a metaphor, but I've been in relationships like that where they pulled me down into the abyss. Things were crushing us both. It was crushing us both. It wasn't just me, it was her too. The relationship just wasn't going to work, but we kept trying to fit that square peg in a round hole, and we're doing all this damage to ourselves trying to make it work. And then when you disengaged, when you leave from each other, you still have that damage that you had been trying to. I used to work a lot with tools, wrenches, things like that. When you're threading that nut into the bolt, you have to get it right. You have to get it just right. If you don't, you're cross thread. If you keep trying to force it, because I've seen people do that, you're damaging the nut and the bolt. If you eventually get those two damaged pieces apart, this bolt won't work with a good nut, pause, and this nut won't work with a good bolt. As a matter of fact, even to carry that on, the bad nut won't work with the bad bolt anymore. They won't even come together. So it's you have to get in line with each other. We were talking about that earlier too. I'm in what I call cheat code mode. This is why I say cheat code, man in motion. Because once I got to become a man in motion, I started realizing I was focusing my time, energy, and money in the wrong direction. I was over here with my energy and money and my time, everything was over here. But I wanted success here. So one day,
You want to get into Kristen Bell and Ayesha?
yeah, we'll get into that eventually.
It's been an hour and 15.
Okay. Give me 15 more minutes and I'll get into them.
All right.
So I wanted to win over here, but all my time, energy, and money was focused over here. So sometimes you have to have a heart to heart with yourself. Do you gentlemen ever talk to yourself in the mirror? Do you ever really have those moments of just you speaking into yourself? It sounds weird, I know. Some may say it sounds hokey, but it works. It absolutely works, man. And it gives you the opportunity to say the positive things to yourself that no one else is saying to you. To build yourself up. Say those things that you know are true about you, the good things, not the bad things. You're going to get enough of that when you go out into the world. Take that moment in the mirror and tell yourself that you're great. Tell yourself that you're awesome, that you're doing a great job. You're building. You may not be where you are, but you're not where you used to be. And that's good enough. Because what you can do is what you can do. So, damn. You ever look at your phone and all of a sudden you got 11 messages? I'm not someone that really likes a bunch of messages on my phone. I got to clear that stuff out before I go crazy. So let's get into Kristen Bell. Kristen Bell, she's another one of those girl next door. type of actresses. If you don't know who she is, I believe she was on Saturday Night Live. I don't watch SNL, but let me make sure. Let me see what her IMDb is. Kristen Bell, very look, she's one of those ladies that Kevin Samuels called an adjustable six. She's a six because you can't use seven in his ranking system. So she's a six, but she can dress up to look very, very good. And I'm all about the sixes. I like the six that, I have fashion sense. I know how to dress. I can get her up to an 8.5. Easy. So let's talk about Kristen Bell. Yeah, let's show that picture of her and her husband, because she has gone. This is how long ago was this? Maybe a week. She went on record talking about her relationship with her husband, Dax Shepard. They married back in 2013, so they've been married for some time. Is that 12 years? Let me say this about married women. They're bored. Married women are bored.
That's right.
This was, and I'm just telling you this as the work husband, the former work husband. I haven't had a job in over a decade, so you ain't got to worry. But the former work husband that used to kick it with the married women. Ooh, she's married. Oh, she's off limits. Let me tell you something. You should be wary of that work husband. I'm gonna ring the alarm. Ring the alarm. She's attracted to that man. No woman spends time with a man that she doesn't want to be around. She's spending time with this man at work. He actually has more access to her, more hours of the day in her best wares than you. I don't want to worry you. I don't want to alarm you. But these ladies that are actresses, they're working around handsome actors like me all the time. I mean, what? There's going to be some flirting going on. Now, quick sidebar. This is where your discipline comes into play. Just a few days ago, the gentleman that is working on the show Matlock, the new reboot, something Del Rio, great actor. I've worked on that set before, so I've seen him in action, and he's really good. His co-star said that he sexually harassed her, and this man got fired, walked off the lot. I don't know if it's true or not. I'm not saying it is. I'm not saying it isn't. What I'm saying is when I'm on set and I'm the person that's standoffish, I'm the person that's not interacting or yucking it up with everybody and all that type of stuff. That's what I'm trying to avoid. It's not me being a dirtbag. It's not me being somebody that doesn't want to be sociable. It's me avoiding those types of scenarios. In fact, a recent play I was in, I worked with a married woman, or she was engaged. She was going to be married like 2 weeks after we were done with the play. And we had 3 shows. In every show, I had to kiss her at the end of the play. It was part of the script. I didn't kiss her. Not on lips. I did the Hollywood kiss where you kiss her here, kiss there, away from the audience, so we can tuck away, and you get the idea. You don't need to see a makeout session, do you? I mean, they got sites for that if you want to see all that. I just think I was being respectful to the husband because there's been times when I wasn't. I was telling Rome about a moment where I just went rogue. I didn't give a damn. I didn't care what type of situation you had. I was going to bust it up. Because you know what? My relationship had gone to shit. So everybody else's was too. Hurting people hurt people. So when you realize that, you stop hurting people. So there's another clip, well, there's another picture that shows the description. So we'll go through that.
This one.
It's got all the words on it.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay. So I'm gonna try to find it here so I don't have to keep looking over there.
Oh my gosh, she actually said that?
Yes. Yes, she did.
Oh my god.
And see, she basically said, because I remember it, I don't even have to recite it. She talked about not having her hoe phase. She called it something else, but whatever. Speaking too fast. By the way, those of you that stutter, just slow down a little bit, take a breath. You're speaking faster than your mouth moves. That's why you're stuttering. There's more of us than there are of them. People stutter and stammer all the time. Don't worry about it. Just relax and let it flow. So we get back to Miss Bell. What did she call it? She called it something else, tried to make it sound all sweet. Butterflying. Come on, man.
I just wish I had butterflied around a little more.
She wished she had butterflied around a little more, which means flinting over here, flinting over there, flinting over here, flinting over there, right? And, I don't want to fault anyone for stating what they really wanted out of life. Getting, I've been a husband before. One of my largest concerns, because my wife, ex-wife, but my wife at the time was a very social person. She was a social butterfly. So she's all over the room, talking to these people, like a politician. If you ever seen a politician work a room, that was my ex-wife. I was more of the, let me just go over here and sit down and mind my own damn business. But when you're with someone like that, you kind of got to do that too. So I don't even know why I brought that up. I don't need to be talking about her. Anyway, butterfly. That's where I got it from, the butterfly. It just, when you're just all over the place, it's like, well, where are you going to land? Do butterflies, do they have a perch or anything? Or they just fly? When the wind blows, they fly again, right? Isn't that what happens? So, and then we can go into the whole cocoon and the worm and the butterfly and all that. That's great. Maybe the early years, she was in the cocoon. And then once she got a little older, she realized she could spread her wings a little bit. And I'm really trying to help her out. I really am. Because to me, it's just all bullshit. But I get her sentiment that to some people, the grass is greener on the other side. But when I talk to my parents about marriage, they say the grass is greener where you water it. The grass is greener where you care for it. If you tend to the grass on your yard, it'll be way more lush and you'll appreciate it a lot more than just hopping over the fence and enjoying this yard over here. Because what you don't realize is once you get over there, that's astroturf. That's why it's always green. It looked great from over the fence, but now it's all hot. Have you ever been on astroturf? It's hot. So she just wanted to be that butterfly. She wanted the butterfly. So there's another clip. Let's get into some Lily Phillips, because these are the ones that actually do the butterflying. These are the ones that actually go out and they get with all the men. Oh, let's do Bonnie. Go back up.
This one?
Yeah. Bonnie Blue, because she's actually the one that kind of brought this discussion about, because the last time we recorded, I mentioned briefly Bonnie Blue, and Rome, you mentioned the who did I say that was? The she was a Roman. Was it Roman?
The Caesar's wife, right?
Caesar's wife. What was that? Anyway.
Oh my God, she wants to do it again.
Yes, that was early. That was this summer when she announced that. I think she already did it.
2000.
I think she already did it. Yeah.
Yo, that's demonic, bro.
It is. But she doesn't really see it that way, you know. She sees it as she's providing a public service, which, you know, I could see that angle.
Oh my God.
I've been in marketing. I can spin it. We can spin it into some type of helping out the less fortunate.
That's insane.
Right? No? Not with me? Okay. I tried, Bonnie. I tried. But okay, so now she's saying
she wants to beat a record.
Beat her own record. I think the first record was 1,000 in a day. 1,000 in a day.
24 hours.
Every guy got 5 minutes, I think. I'm sorry to give you guys so much detail, but I actually went down the rabbit hole, of this. So, because I've been in counseling before where I've seen the back end of this, where it's all fun, it's empowering, it's great, it's joys and laughs, it's all these different flavors of men, and go do you. But man, do you think that is a stable person? Is that a wife? Would you wife this? Because even though this is exaggerated, this is a Hoe Phase. There might be some ladies that are beating Bonnie at this point. Well, I don't know. If she's knocking out 3,000 in like
2,000.
Well, she did 2,000 and she did 1,000 before. So cumulatively, she's got 3,000 in about a weekend. A weekend. And I'm being generous because I'm giving her another day. I'm giving her 3 days to get those. But anyway, you know, what's the end to this? How does it end? Does she get with a guy? If you were a guy, is this... I mean, I'm not saying she's a bad looking woman. She's not bad looking. She's just got an empty look in her eyes. So let's go to another one, because there's a video of her talking about it, I think, where a lady is actually asking her about it.
A video? You have it on here?
Yeah, it should be in there.
304. That's not it, is it?
What is it?
Can you see that?
That's it.
Okay.
1,000 penises into one vagina in 12 hours is disgusting.
Well, the more you talk about it, the more it turns me on.
You'd fuck an old man.
Oh yeah, of course I would. Old men deserve sex. I mean, the wife might be dead. I don't discriminate whether you're married, 18 or 80. I'll take anybody.
Out of the 1,000 men, there was a lot of barely legal boys. Do you not have a problem with the fact that they're literally borderline underage?
No, because they're 18.
But they're still children.
Yeah, but they're 18. I'd happily take someone like on their 18th birthday. Like, no problem.
How old are
they're
you?
18, 25.
My nephew's 18. He's still a child.
I'll send him to me then. I'll find him like you one day. It's hard work being a slut. Like, I've earned the title.
So you enjoy being called a slut? So do you condone cheating?
Yeah.
And if you had a daughter and she said, you know, Mummy, I want to be just like you.
Yeah.
And you'd be happy and you'd watch your daughter just f everyone.
Yeah. I will raise my daughter to be independent and to follow her dreams. If that is to 1,000 people, I'll be there with a banner supporting her the whole way. Like, I love the idea that I don't know who's going to be inside of me. There was times I was in doggy and I'd turn around and I would have no idea who's in the back of me. And I love that.
That's disgusting.
Come on, man.
Like, you're
Majority
a pretty
jobs.
girl. You could have gone into modeling. You could have gone into acting. You could have been like an influencer.
It's also very hard to get into that.
So it's people.
Not
Constantly.
really.
Okay, all right.
That was insane, man. That was insane, dude.
Now, she said it, not me. So don't come trying to get at me for putting it up there. She said it. And you know what? She's kind of funny. I'll give her that. She she was quick on it. She's like, send them to me then. Oh, damn. Oh, damn. But like I said, she thinks she's.
I think her confidence is getting to her, man. I think.
You think it is?
Yeah, I think you can tell her body language. She's not gonna let you know that.
No, she has to hold the facade.
Those questions got to her, but she had to double down.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Well, here's the thing. Do you think it got to her? Because I've seen other interviews. She interviewed with the Hodge twins and some other people. Is it because it's a lady asking her the questions? You think?
I don't know. I think it maybe I don't think it was a lady. It was just her energy. You know, she was like, look at who you are. Look at who you've become.
Yeah.
And I think that she picked up on that.
Yeah.
So I don't think that she's just her conscience is completely seared just yet. I think she just is a content creator and is just. I don't know. That's my 2 cents.
No, I agree. I think she got caught up in the whirlwind. It was. You just don't know what you're going to go viral over. So if you're really fighting for virality.
How many celebrities have had sex tapes and have had an uptick in their career after the sex tape was released?
Kim Kardashian, Paris Hilton.
Plenty.
R. Kelly.
Plenty. So this is like nothing new. I mean, it's 1,024 hours. That's a whole different twist on it, But
yeah, because we're in the age now where you have the shock value. You have to shock them even more.
Yeah.
You can't just do 50. You can't just do 100. You have to do 1,000. It has to be a 4-figure number. So what's next? 10,000 in a weekend?
I'm scared to see what she's going to do next. If she's 2,024 hours, I mean, good Lord.
I mean, my twisted mind goes to who's wearing the meta glasses next time. Is this what we're going to do now? We're going to do the meta glasses in the room with. Come on, man. I think at some point, and this is another reason why I talk about discipline, is you have to guard your spirit from some of these things by not going into those rooms, by not engaging in those types of activities. This isn't just about her. What about those thousands of men that lined up? What about 998, 999, and 1,000? You're in line. You're at the end. And I saw some of the line, too. They had Pooh Shiesty masks on. They didn't want to be seen. So if you don't want to be seen, then you're ashamed also, right? You shouldn't be there. You're probably married. Probably got a girlfriend.
Absolutely nuts, man.
It's crazy. So let's go to Ayesha Curry. Let's get to the big thing, because she's the one that actually sparked this conversation over the past week. But, just a sidebar, Michelle Obama was saying the same stuff 2 months ago, a month ago, about Obama. Former president, she was saying this exact same stuff. She wishes she would. She didn't want to do it. She didn't want to be a part of it. And now that she's a part of it, now she's bitching. What? You ate the steaks. You popped the bottles. You bought the clothes. You drove the cars. You unlocked the door to the house. You decorated the house gleefully By the way, when I handed you the credit card, you went off. I've been married before, I know. You gave her the credit card. Man, I know. She came back with different light fixtures. She had the living room painted. It was already painted. She had it painted. Okay, I'm talking about my life. This is not what Obama went through, but I'm just saying Obama went through that whole thing. And it's just recently when Michelle started her podcast, that's what she started it with, that she didn't want the relationship. Let's go to Ayesha. Ayesha, you are the girl that I never had. Want to get to know you, girl. And let's show you who Ayesha Curry is.
You got a few different ones here. Which one should I pull up first?
Let's go. Keep scrolling. There's one with maybe the family.
That one?
Yeah. Ayesha. Ayesha says she never wanted kids or marriage. She claims Steph Curry doesn't understand her. I always had career goals. He tries to resonate with me, but he just can't. Now, this, and she did this on the Call Her Daddy podcast is what it's called. And lots of ladies are getting themselves in trouble on this podcast, by the way. A lot like Ayesha got herself in trouble at the Red Table. Because this is where it started, the Red Table. At the Red Table talk with Jada Pinkett Smith, the messiest of the messiest. She is on the Mount Rushmore of ungrateful women. So Jada, when you're in certain environments, just venom spews out. This is why you should avoid certain workplace conversations, because some people are really working against you and they're just trying to get some dirt on you. So they'll pretend to be your friend. They'll pretend to be cool. They'll ask you to go drinking with them after work. Don't fall for it. They're trying to get you drunk and then call you a drunk. Just be careful out here. There's snakes in the grass. All right. So that's just the pro tip. I don't hang out at work. Rome and I do red carpet stuff. I don't hang out after the red carpet's over. I'm that dude. I'm so boring, y'all. I know you see the videos. Oh, he's doing this and doing that. Dude, when we're done, I drink some water and I go home. Now, do I think about all the scattered ass that I left at the place? Yes. But no. I got to get home. I got stuff to do. So, yeah, you got to protect yourself from those things. So she gets on this podcast and she starts talking about how she doesn't get the attention that Steph gets. No shit. You're not Steph Curry. But what she goes into also saying is that Steph wasn't even Steph coming out of Davidson or even out of high school going into Davidson. He was going to be a high school basketball coach, right? That was where he was going to land. And she was going to go be an actress, actress, model, internet baddie is what she was going to go be. And because they got married, she felt like her goals and dreams were put on hold. Yes, they are. They are put on hold because now it's not about you anymore. It's about the children. It's about the household. And in his own way, Steph is doing the same thing. He's dedicating his life to improve himself in this craft because now he's found a lane that he can prosper in. All men are just looking for that. They're just looking for a shot. They're just looking for an opportunity to show the powers that be or the people that make the decisions that they can do the thing. And now he's finally gotten that to where he can provide an amazing life for the entire family. And he's doing that. And then to hear this, again, what about, let's take Steph out of the picture, okay? Because people want to say, well, she should be able to say how she feels, and she should, to Steph or to a counselor, not to millions of people on the internet, and I should know about it. But since I do, here we are. What about the children? What about these children that are now hearing that they're not wanted, that they weren't you didn't desire to have them?
Yeah, that's weird. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, that's the angle I'm coming at it with. Okay, Steph, you've been dealing with this for a minute. All right. And word to Travis Hunter, this is your future. If you don't get it, if you don't get a handle on it, right? I don't know the brother. I don't know any of these brothers, but I know these circumstances. So what the children, because the reason I thought about it that way is because, again, I've been having adult conversations with my mother and father, and my sister and myself, we were planned. My parents planned us. They sat on the bed, they prayed, they budgeted, they got it in order. They actually wanted more. They wanted 4. But once I came, my dad was like, he was looking at the balance sheet. He was like, I don't know if we can afford any more kids. We might just need to stop at the 2. 2's good. We got a boy, we got a girl. We good. We good. So we were planned. And so I know the feeling that comes over you when you're like, they wanted me here. I'm supposed to be here. I'm not an accident. I'm not an oopsie baby. Right. And so and their oldest girl, she was the one that used to accompany Steph to the press conferences. She would be the funny one at the press conferences. Now she's like a teenager. She's older. And as they get much older, they're going to start understanding some of the stuff. And the internet is forever. This isn't going to go away. You can try to scrub it all you want. But people like me, I have screenshots of it. I have videos of it. Not going anywhere. Because I'm going to keep talking about it. Because this keeps happening to men over and over and over again. Let's look at another picture. Let's see what else we got here in the media bank. And I guess it's kind of natural for you not to specifically resonate with what your spouse wants in life. Oh, yeah. So that's a picture of her actually on the podcast. So you give her the world and she'll want the solar system. I'm sure he didn't tweet that. People get messy. But
so wait, was LeBron's wife saying some similar things?
No, what this picture is doing is they're drawing the comparison between how Savannah James carries herself in public versus how Ayesha Curry carries herself in public. See, Savannah James, they may have their issues in their relationship, but we don't hear about them. Yeah. We know LeBron, if not still, is the number 1 basketball player on the planet. He has his share of temptation coming his way each and every day. But we don't hear about scandals. We don't hear about him being caught up in a hotel with 20 hoes and cocaine. No. And we don't hear that about Steph Curry either. And he's up in the Bay hitting threes all over the place. You don't think that he could be hitting some 10s? Some 9s? Oh, yeah. He could. Show that picture. Show the picture of him on the court with the thirst trap in the stands. We saw it earlier. He's having to deal with temptation after temptation after temptation with ladies trying to throw themselves at him. But we don't hear about scandals. We don't hear about harassment suits. Not saying that they're not evident, or they're not there. We're not hearing about them. So, these guys, these basketball players have to deal with this type of thing home and on the road, especially on the road. Especially on the road. Because in Love and Basketball, he broke it down perfectly. Dennis Haysbert. Yeah, this is what he has to deal with. Look at this. Look at this, man. And that's just one. That's just one. I bet if you expanded that out to a wide shot, there'd be 20. There'd be 20 of them looking at him. He's not even looking at. He's focused on the game. He's focused on winning. And that's what he does. He's focusing his time, energy, and money on becoming the best basketball player he can be. Better father, better husband. We don't see him doing anything else. We barely, I see him do appearances on, maybe Jimmy Kimmel or something like that, or commercials. He's cashing Subway checks.
You got some other pictures here on this story. Let me see.
That's the type of stuff. And most of us would crumble with something like that, lusting after us like that. Be honest. Be honest. What we got?
Check that one up.
Yeah, go for it. Because this is when she was talking about not getting the attention. She started talking about everyone's into barely wearing clothes these days, huh? Not my style. I like to keep the good stuff covered up for the one who matters. This was 10 years ago, 2015. Times change. What a difference a decade makes. Because this was not soon after she started posting thirst trap pictures. And, she's good.
She's good looking.
She's good looking. Not really my type, but I can see it. I can see attraction, recognize attraction.
What about this one?
Yeah, let's see it. What we got? Okay, so this TikToker says it's important for all women to have a hoe phase. Do you agree? She claims Ayesha Curry feels trapped by Steph because she's never been through the mud, and that's why she can't appreciate what she has.
So he said on his, I guess was that X, when he said give a girl a what?
Give her the world, she'll ask for the solar system.
So was that after the podcast, or did he post that like before?
I think that was before. I don't even know if it's real. Some people make that stuff up.
Yeah.
So I use it more for commentary than I do for factual, because people can fabricate. People
I was wondering like if he made a statement after the podcast.
I don't think he did. No, Steph is more of a keep it silent. I think he knows. Well, let me tell you that he probably has a PR team. It's like, look, you ain't gonna say nothing. There's too much money flowing through that Steph Curry name. You are not about to mess it up by going toe to toe with a podcast. So I know I'm thinking that's probably what they did, and it's the smart move. Eventually it'll all go away and people won't be talking about it anymore. So you'll be fine. But I just want to know, do you guys agree? Do you agree that a whole phase is necessary? Because she's talking about getting it through the mud and all that. I disagree. She did have to get it through the mud. She got it through the mud with Steph. Maybe she wants her own struggle, her own experiences. I get that. There are a lot of aspiring actresses out here in Los Angeles that look, this thing isn't for everyone. I know everyone that wants to do it thinks that they should be able to, and you should be able to try. I respect you for trying. I do respect you. But it's not for everyone, because this is tough. This is a tough business. And you got to be able to handle it. A lot of rejection. I don't care who you are. A lot of rejection. And I think that's the toughest thing. Some people can't handle their rejection part. You have to get rejected and then step right back up to the line again and do it all over again with the same type of enthusiasm you did it the first time. And that's not always something someone can do. So trapped. That's a word that gets used quite a bit. when we talk about these scenarios, I think, and I keep saying I think because it's not a belief, it's a thought, because a mind can change, beliefs can't. I think she can create her own. Honestly, Ayesha Curry could create her own series and get it produced. She could probably use connections that Steph has with LeBron, because LeBron has a production company, and get it produced. I don't know why she's not doing this. Or maybe, this might be something else, which I always think about this. I always think about this when it comes to when someone goes on some type of podcast and they say some salacious things. Is she promoting a book? Is she promoting a show? Because again, like I said, she could easily, and look, Ayesha, hit me up. We'll write it for you. We'll write a series for you. My man will produce it. We'll shoot it, and we'll get you out there. Don't even worry about it. I help actresses like this all the time, no doubt. The thing is, some people can't take the auditioning part. That's the toughest part. So let's see what else we got from Miss Curry. Ayesha, you know what? I have a rule with dating. You got to leave them Ishas, Ashas, Oyas, Anyas, and Andas alone. Okay? And if she has a double name, Kiki, Riri, Ray Ray, it's a no-no. What we got next? Oh, Ayesha Curry, recent Call Her Daddy interview has the internet in chaos. Not because she said something controversial, but because she said something real. She talked about she never planned on marriage or kids. Who does? Let me just stop there. I didn't plan on marriage or kids. I had them both. I wanted to be one of them old men on a boat by myself with a dog. I'm still going to do that, but maybe I'll let my son join me if he wants to come by every once in a while. Okay, so she didn't plan on marriage or kids or how her life took a turn she didn't expect and how she's been figuring out. Who she is outside of being Steph Curry's wife. That could be a challenge.
Keep going. I can say something about that.
Let's talk about it real quick. Let's go large screen. Let's talk about it because it could be a challenge. Because I equate this and I look at it from an actor who has done a fantastic job, like a Alfonso Ribeiro or a Christopher B. Duncan. So Alfonso played Carlton. Christopher B. Duncan played, I'm looking at his Jamie Foxx show. I love the way he dressed. Every time I tuned into that show just to see what type of vest he was going to wear under his blazer. Braxton P. Hartnebrig. So you see these guys, and even Urkel, Jaleel White with Urkel. When you see them, do you say Jaleel? No, you say Urkel. Christopher B. Duncan talked about this on his Instagram page. Well, maybe not on the Instagram page. I saw it in an interview where he says when he goes in to do an audition, they say, "Hey, Braxton." He's like, they only see me as Braxton. They can't see me as this hardcore gangster that I'm coming in to read for, or this senator that I'm trying to play. You can't see me as anything but Carlton, Urkel, or Braxton. And let's take it to the other side of the aisle. Ross, David Schwimmer. What can he play where you're not saying, "Hey, what's Ross doing over there doing this?" That's the type of equation that I see with trying to find her own identity. Now, she can still carve it out, but no. See what you got. What you got, man?
Maybe it's just the way the sentence was worded, but I'm like, she's desperately trying to find out who she is outside of being Steve Curry's wife, and I'm like, why is that not enough? I mean, if you're married, why do you? I understand that. Okay, you got to have who you are as an individual. You know who you are. You're an individual person. Your spouse is, you're two individuals coming together. I get all that. I get that concept. But trying to figure out who you are. I mean, you have a family. You have a husband and children.
Yes.
Like, that's never going to change. I mean, unless you get divorced. I could understand that if they were divorced and her saying something like that. I'm trying to figure out who I am now that I'm not married anymore. But it's like, I don't know. To me, it throws me off. I'm not trying to criticize her at all. Like I said, she's being transparent. You know, she's opening up.
Yeah.
And I respect that, actually. And I think that what she's feeling is normal. I think a lot of, maybe even some men feel like that.
Sure.
But I think she's getting a lot of backlash just because, you know, maybe perhaps people think that that's not really the thought process of a healthy marriage. Maybe. I don't know. It's just
no, that's
like if I knew, like if I was married, my wife sort of asking these questions and coming up with all these different thoughts, and I'm like, that would hurt my feelings. I'd be like, well, where's all this coming from?
Right. Ladies, men have feelings too.
Yeah, they're like, that was, you know, I'm like, okay. But like I said, you know, maybe this is something that's not a big deal in their marriage. Maybe it's something that they've been talking about for years, that she's having these thoughts. And maybe it's just not a huge thing to him.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I hope not. You know, I'm with you. It's damaging. You're like, man, I thought I was doing enough.
Outside of marriage? What you mean outside of marriage?
Right. What do you want to? What else is out there outside of the marriage? Because, you know, like we showed the thirst traps. There's stuff outside of the marriage for him.
Yeah.
But I think he sees that is just a temporary thing. It's a temporary feeling, and it's not worth it. So he's not gonna do that.
That would be a cause for insecurity. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. If my wife came up to me, or we have a conversation, and all these different ideas came up, I would feel insecure after that conversation ended, until she said something else. Until she said, okay, well, I don't really feel like that, and I'm just temporary, just.
Would you believe that though, if she came back and said that she tried to take it back?
I'd be skeptical.
Yeah. Because it would be, now you planted the seed.
Yeah.
Now I'm thinking, well, okay, if I'm not doing well enough for me to connect with you, then what else?
Yeah.
What else am I missing?
You're not happy. I'm thinking we're in a situation that you don't want to be in.
That's the on off. Like I said, we're on off. We're not. Yeah. Men are on. Ladies, okay. Let me little something else. We're on off. That's it. It's a light switch. We flip the switch on off. What is it? Do you want me to touch you? You don't want me to touch you. Okay, I won't touch you. You want me to touch you? Okay, I'll touch you. There's no dimmer in between there. Well, I want you to touch me, but only during this, and I don't want you to talk to me. We don't function like that. So anyway, it's definitely a it hurts a man. You know, and like I say, we have feelings too, ladies. We really want to. I know and I'll wrap it up with this. You know, I did used to dream about what my relationship was going to be like with the woman I spend the rest of my life with. And I used to talk about it with the guys I was in college with. And we would always wonder, okay, what's her name going to be? You know, something like that. When I call out her name across the room, what's the name going to be? You know, and we would think about these things. And I think that's the equivalent of when ladies would think about what their marriage is going to look like, or being married. But the guys, we would think about the kids and what the kids are going to do, what we're going to help them with. And I know from my standpoint, it was wanting to have my kids jog with me and stay physically fit and eat good and beautiful wife and all that type of stuff. So there are things that we dream about wanting great in a relationship. Oh, you got snacks. Those are the things that we look at and we're like, man, that'd be nice. I have a homeboy. Shout out to Shannon Atkinson. His marriage, actually, his relationship with his wife, Jennifer, I've admired for many, many years. It's probably been about 20 years now. But I remember when he went on his first date with her and he came back and we were kicking it. Me and the homies, we were sitting watching Golden Girls. And he came, yeah, man, can you imagine a room with 5 black men sitting in a room watching Golden Girls, laughing our heads off? That was crazy. That was a great show. So we watched that, and he came in from the date, and he's like, man, I'm gonna marry that girl. I'm gonna marry that girl. And he did. And the reason, as I'm saying the story, this is the reason why I enjoy watching their love story. And, you know, I know marriages have their issues. People have their troubles. People are people. But their story of going on the date and him coming home and saying, I'm going to marry that woman. That's what my father did when he took my mom out for the first time. Another one of those stories that you get when you talk to your parents as adults. And he was saying that he took her out for her birthday. My mother's birthday is February 14th. So he took her out for Valentine's Day. 6 months later, they were married. They saw each other every weekend after that date. He met her mom. Grandma loved him. He was the good man, you know, no alcohol, no drugs. My mom didn't have a long list of things that she wanted in a man. She still tells me that list to this day. We have these conversations. She said she just wanted a man who didn't drink hard liquor because she saw in her area how the drunkards would act. Drunk, belligerent, face down in the ditch. She didn't want a man like that. She wanted a God-fearing, upstanding, hardworking man. And that's what she got. And I'm so glad. Thank you, Mom and Dad, for making that happen. Couldn't have done it without you. So, yeah, that's why I love their story so much, because my father and my mother's story mirrors that, where when you know, you know. And we all want that, don't we, gents? The challenge is we don't know if she's in her hoe phase or not. We don't know if she wants her hoe phase. The programming is different now than what it was before. Now they're being told to get the Birkin bag and city girls and strong and independent. And what I'm finding out by having conversations with these ladies that are around my age, they realize it was all bullshit. That they shouldn't have bought into that like that. And I agree. But I was telling them then in the 90s, but they were too busy calling me a scrub and calling me a bugaboo and telling me to pay their bills. So you can't get a word in edgewise when they're on it like that. You just kind of have to wait for people to see it for themselves. And maybe that's what these ladies like the Lily Phillips, the Bonnie Blues have to realize. There's another actress that just mentioned being attracted to her co-star and is causing issues with her husband too. It's, you know, we gotta, again, gentlemen, less is more. To think it, okay, think it. You don't have to say everything that you think, and you don't have to share everything that you feel. Don't use the internet or social media as your diary, because diaries are supposed to be secret. Diaries were under lock and key. They were your innermost thoughts that you don't share with anybody else. What I'm saying is less is more. It'll be more beneficial to you in relationships, in career, by you saying less online. Now, this coming from somebody who just talked for 2 hours, but I'm just saying, if you say less online, you're less likely to put your foot in your mouth. Because as soon as you go for office, as soon as you go for that promotion, they're going to pull up that X post where you were talking trash about the company. So internet detectives are undefeated. So it behooves you to be truthful and honest, forthright, and say less. Well, I appreciate you joining me today. Gentlemen, I want you to answer the question to me. How do you vet a woman? What are the categories that you have for vetting a woman? The one night stand, the mess, the trifling. You might have someone that's more relationship minded, maybe a situationship, and then you have your relationship or marriage or something like that, long term. What are your parameters? I want to know. I want to know. And have you had your whole phase yet? Maybe you need to listen to my mom's and go in and have yours before it's too late, before everybody's out here burning. Wrap it up, gentlemen. I'm going to tell you that. Wrap it up. Okay? You got to protect your team, your time, energy, and money, but you're also protecting your seed. Because once it's out of your body, it's out of your control. So that's why I'm in the semen retention pause. But once it's out of your body, it's out of your control. She can do whatever it is she wants. Take Drake with the hot sauce and the condom. He got in trouble for that. Not her. Did you hear about that?
Wait, what happened?
Okay. Drake. Drake is the guy that women throw long bombs at. I mean, they all come. As a matter of fact, there is a picture of Ayesha Curry hanging out with Drake after a show.
Was it a concert?
Yeah. She got backstage.
Of course.
You know she got backstage. She got backstage passes. She was back there with all the girls. It was about 6 of them in that picture.
I believe it.
So Drake had an encounter with a lady. Shout out to him because he makes them sign NDAs. You got to sign NDAs when you kick it with him. They got that idea from Derek Jeter. But he had an encounter with her, and then he goes to the bathroom to clean up, takes the condom off, puts hot sauce in it, and then throws it in the trash. She goes into the bathroom, and he hears her yell from the bathroom. She fished the condom out of the trash and tried to put the semen inside her, and the hot sauce burned her. The reason they're doing that is because it kills it's like killing the sperm in the.
That's just the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life.
But this is the thing, and this is why I tell guys the long bomb, the Hail Mary. This is the last ditch, full court shot with no time on the clock. This is it. It's got to go in. Somebody's got to catch this Hail Mary. Come with me. Hail Mary. She's throwing it deep because that's her one shot. When is she ever going to be in a room ever again with a man of this caliber? And so she takes her shot to try to get the baby. Because once you got the baby, you got 18 years. 18 years. And then you get this Brittany Renner and PJ Washington situation. You get Shannon Sharp getting fleeced for about 50 mil. You get all this stuff where people getting this money taken from them because they lacked discipline. Not discipline. They lacked discipline. So that's why the term is there. That's why it's that term. Because you read any story, any fable about a monarch, about a Roman emperor, about anybody, his downfall is the woman. Not all women. I know I have to say that. Not all, but some. And those are the ones my mother was trying to warn me against. And so I'm taking that information that mom gave me and continues to give me, and I'm sharing it with you. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope this was informative. And you know what? We're going to do this again next week. So, and next week, we're going to be talking about the fellas. Because ladies are complaining about the men being sassy. And I have a theory behind that. And my theory is alpha moms raise beta boys. You raised the men that you now won't date because you were trying to overcorrect what you were getting because you were out here in your whole phase. Came back, didn't it? You're out here in your whole phase getting tossed. And that was fun. But then you couldn't get a decent man. Because I gotta tell you, gentlemen like myself and Rome, we're a dying breed. I mean, you better get on it now. And we don't even really want to settle down now. You waited too long. You waited too long. And now we're the righteous men that have pure intentions, but now we got other interests. And that's another thing that's happening with the dating world. But we're going to talk about those alpha moms raising beta boys next week. So we'll see you next week. So on behalf of my man, Jerome Sperlin, producing the show, and myself, Mr. J, thank you for joining me on the Gentleman Code, where swag is for boys and class is for men. We'll see you next week.